Dubai on the ground is a little bit spacious, to say the least. It's possible to walk around here, but there's the question of whether it's even wise. The mall is across the street, but the street is several layers of highway, and I'm not entirely sure how to get there from here safely. To be sure, I guess that street is only one way, so as long as you look the one way before crossing the street, you're okay. But it's still kind of hard to get used to and to find your way to where you want to go. You can't say that Dubai hasn't done its level best to put on a unique and lavish skyline. There are times when I'm looking at all this, and like with Hong Kong, it's like it's got enough on its plate to make you think that it spent too long at the architecture buffet. I don't know why. I just walked through the entirety of the Dubai Mall, or at least did a quick run through of it, and didn't feel like filming anything. I think I'm just getting tired, or maybe it's this cold that's doing its magic on me, or maybe it's just the fact that I figure I'll get back to it eventually, as I'm aiming myself somewhat towards the Burj Khalifa, but am I actually going to go up there? I don't know. I mean, that's a long hike, and I don't know quite what streets I'll need to cross, assuming I can even, to get there. I mean, it's within view, but then again, you know, everything's within view of the Burj Khalifa, so I'm really torn on this. It's the sort of thing where it's like, to come here and not go there seems almost sacrilegious. And yet at the same time, it's like, do I want to? And can I even? And I'm not entirely sure that I can. It doesn't help, again, that we've got some major streets to cross and no clear place to do so. So, yeah, there's that too. 150 meters to get to a stoplight. Well, I mean, I guess I might as well. Although, you know, again, I'm in the middle of this sunshine still beating down on us. I don't know what to do here. At the same time, there's these perplexingly empty spaces. This doesn't even look like a place where they put a parking lot, because most of the hotels and other establishments have layers and layers of parking garages underneath them. You know, the Paramount Hotel has the first 12 or 13 stories are just parking garage. So this would seem pointless, but what are they doing with this space, or what are they going to do? I'm gonna try and head into the Boulevard Heights place, which I think is another mall, and see what it's like. Well, my error. It's either a residence or a hotel. I'm not quite clear on that, but in either case, I don't belong here, so gonna keep making my way, I guess. Believe it or not, the Burj Khalifa is hidden behind this building, and it's another one of those streets that's gonna be kind of hard for me to get around. So perhaps I can go underneath it. Might have a better idea of where I was if I was on the surface at this point. But now I'm 3 stories down in what looks to be a parking garage, but for which building particularly I can't tell you, and how to get into any of them I'm also at a loss. So I'm just gonna keep following this and see where it goes. Well, the good news is I'm out on the surface. and in fact, much closer to the Burj Khalifa. Bad news is I'm not entirely sure how I got here, and I don't know if I can retrace my steps. It's going to be an interesting thing, but let's see where this leads us, because it doesn't look like we're that far from this particular objective. Maybe we can see what's to be done over here. I found myself by a reflecting pool, not too far from the Burj. So I'm definitely seeing some stuff here. I will say that Dubai is not, well, it's debatable whether it's pedestrian friendly or not. It's just, there's a lot more wide open spaces, which seems like it'd be great for walking around in, and yet there's very few people who are, because, well, climactically speaking, it just isn't. It's too hot to be out. The question is, am I a mad dog or am I an Englishman? This is an interesting one. That those that don't understand Arabic, this would just be some kind of very large pink dragon, but apparently it's a quotation about art in all its colors and types reflects civilization, its culture and history, or something like that. I hope I got it right, but I don't think I did. It's actually a quote from an Arab poet. In any event, it's very well done, and if it had been in Latin characters, I probably would have found it that much more interesting, I suppose, just from being able to read it. Alright, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but I guess now that I'm here, I'm at the foot of the Burj Khalifa, so I might as well find out if I can go up there and take a look around. Thank heavens for being an English-speaking tourist, I guess. What with being a British protectorate, they have a very good grasp of the language and are quite helpful. Ran into a security guard and he asked him how to get up to the observation deck here at the Burj Khalifa. He's like, go in through the Dubai Mall, and proceeded to point me in the direction of the Dubai Mall, which I didn't realize was way over here. I just sort of thought that it was by my hotel. So, gonna have to do that somehow. I assume that this area with the Skyway is where the Dubai Mall is, and then we'll just go from there. Well, I was mistaken yet again. That walkway does lead to the mall, but it is on the same side of the street as the Burj Khalifa. So, we'll just head on into the mall and wander around first, perhaps. At least I don't have to park. It's one of these kinds of malls, the ones I'm least interested in. You can tell from the brand names. Well, honestly, the one thing that stands out is the garb of some of the folks that are hanging out here. Very distinctive. I will say that this mall goes on for quite a ways, and then goes up for some ways as well. Quite something if you can afford it and are into this stuff, which I'm gonna have to say no on either count. This thing goes on and on. I still haven't figured out how to get to where I really want to be. Well, this is almost funny. I seem to have gone all the way through the mall and come out on the opposite side, and I have passed the Burj completely. And I'm not sure how I managed to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a large mall, so I guess it shouldn't surprise me. But it is sort of like, how'd that happen? It seems like there's a second Dubai Mall right behind me that's even, well, not bigger, Although, or is it an extension of this one? I really don't know. This is just kind of crazy. Maybe it's a Dubai Mall versus the Mall of Dubai. Nope, it's all Dubai Mall. How strange is that? Okay, well that explains it. Wow. I knew things were expensive here. I knew things would be. Did not see that coming. I was thinking maybe 100 or 200 dirham. When it came out to about just shy of 800, or more like 200 USD to get up to the top of the Burj Khalifa. I'm like, okay, you know, coming here is a one-time thing, but wow, that's a lot to ask to get up to the highest tower. Taiwan 101 was like 20 bucks. Yeah, that seems to be asking a bit much. I think I'll have to pass on that. And anything other than the highest point is kind of, well, pointless now, isn't it? But at least I've gotten here, so there's that. Yeah, I've had shore excursions that were more to it for less than that. I wouldn't say that that kind of money is worth it. Even if you do get the huge oversweep of Dubai, it just doesn't seem quite appropriate. I don't know. It's just hard for me to pin that one down. There's a certain part of me is like, maybe I should have just spent the money, but I don't know. I can't quite bring myself to it. Even the food court's slightly disappointing because they have every different cuisine but their own, or at least so it seems. The ones that I see in Arabic script when I look closer are things like Big Apple sweets, which, New York? Okay. But, yeah, not local stuff. Closest thing I can see is Iran or doner, which are mildly exotic, except for the fact that, you know, we have gyros back at home. Oh, maybe we don't. I don't know. Maybe what we have isn't what they do. So, I don't know. Part of me is mildly disappointed, but I've got no one to blame but myself. One's attitude towards spending money is very different when it hasn't been spent yet, and I know for a fact that I've been eating too much. So, nothing really grabs me, and yet, yeah, did actually see a Dinte fun place, which is ironic because I'm talking about passing up going to the top of the Burj Khalifa because it's so much more expensive than the Taiwan 101, and here they have the restaurant that they had at the base of Taiwan 101 that I passed up at that time because of a lack of time. I'm watching this fellow clean the reflecting pool in front of the Burj, and I have to admit it's probably just as well I didn't bring your shaker with me. It wouldn't be appreciated to have you here, and they'd clear it out in rather short order. So, I guess that one time in the Louvre is gonna have to suffice. So, well, it is what it is. And, you know, again, we wouldn't have expected to be here. It's just all sort of happened. One of those, book me something before I change my mind, Carrie, type of deals. And here I am. And it's just about over with, and I still need to get myself another suitcase. So I guess I gotta deal with that soon. Anyway, let's see if I can't make my way back. I think I remember seeing something over there anyway. Until then, take care. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it.